right, guys. So, dating myself for 4 years. I'm sure it's in the title or something. Yeah, 4 years ago on February 22nd in the year 2022, the infamous 22222 day, I got my septum pierced and my smiley pierced, which, spoiler alert, I don't really wear anymore. I kind of love my face the way that it just is. I like my teeth. That was fun though. Like having a smiley, and then there was this one piece of jewelry, maybe I'll put in a picture, that I just love the way it fell. I thought it was so cute, so sexy. Little peekaboo situation. And it's called a smiley. I mean, come on. Anyways, so that one is closed. This one is still open, but I rarely wear it. And I feel like my nose has started to get kind of sensitive to it. But anyways, whole other rabbit hole. But it was such a significant part of the 222 day, getting two piercings, declaring the beginning of an intentional relationship with myself. I was in such a good place at the time of just self-discovery, spirituality, daily practices, embracing wild decisions because I was young and wanting so much for myself. These things haven't changed. They've just evolved immensely. Bottom line is, I got a bit lost within the last few years of dating myself. And I feel very proud to say that I feel more at home with myself than I have maybe ever, which is a really big deal. And is worth acknowledging and celebrating. And it did not come without loss of friendship and relationships that you just kind of assume will always be there. And then you change and people change and dynamics change and everyone is their own person. And I feel like I finally came home to myself and realized that the most important relationship aside from mine and God's relationship is my relationship with me. And I know this is so corny. All of this sounds so corny. And this is the first time I'm making a video intentionally knowing that I want to post it. So I'm very in my head right now. I feel a little rusty in general, but recently my whole life felt like it was falling apart. And if you had asked my nervous system, it would have told you that I was about to be homeless and like everything was ending and dying. Which thank God, none of that is true. Well, some death, but not like, I could get all philosophical, but I won't. None of that is true, but it was a lot of uncomfortable transitions, mistakes, making mistakes, apologizing for those mistakes, restructuring my whole business, realizing that I need to get off my ass and start creating shit because where have I been the last 3 years? Dude, literally I was creating content before I moved to Austin. I've been in Austin for 3 years. What have I been doing? Why have I not let myself fully explore that dream of sharing my perspective, sharing other people's perspectives is something I'm so passionate about. And there's such a clear tool to use to just try. And within that one realization of start creating and sharing shit again. So what led me to this realization is one day I got up and I just knew inside of myself. I was like, I am consuming nothing. There is so much output that needs to happen that I am not eating. I am not listening to music. I am not looking at my phone. I'm not opening my laptop. I'm taking out paper and pen and I'm figuring this shit out. This was while all the transitions were actively happening. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had been surviving for so long, like emotionally, financially, spiritually. I was just in such a, this is the only words that's coming to my mind. It doesn't feel fully accurate of depicting what I'm trying to, but I was at such a lower frequency than I'd like to be, that I'm capable of being, that I've been before. I was a bit lost. I was a bit lost in who I was, what I was doing. My identity was a little bit too wrapped up in my business. And I just had to step back and be like, who, what, when, where, why am I? Who, what, when, where, why? What am I doing? Like, what is happening? What do I even want? Such an important thing to be clear on, because when you don't even know what you want, you don't know what you're working towards. If you don't know what you're working towards, you don't even know what to do when you wake up. And if you don't know who you are or what you like, you don't know what to do when you wake up. And so, as someone who grew up not really knowing how to identify needs, because a lot of my needs unfortunately went unfulfilled growing up. And so I learned that this isn't true, but I learned growing up that if I need something, that's not true. I'm wrong when I think I need something. Yikes. I know we're going there, but not fully, only a little bit. We're just gonna, little callback to childhood, if you will. Yeah, so self-trust is a huge theme that kind of always comes up for me. But it comes up in ways that you would never even think of, like, oh, you need water, or oh, you're hungry, like you should probably like feed yourself because you need food, like just basic simple shit like that. And so how this ties into what I was saying before is like part of the day where I just sat down and like figured everything out. I took a blank piece of paper, like a big printer paper, and wrote down the who, what, when, where, why, and really just sat with it. Like, okay, who do I want to do life with? What kind of characteristics do they have? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Wrote it all out. When a little bit more abstract, because there are aspects of control that I don't have in that area. So just kind of wrote out a rough map of it. Where similar, but it's like clearer. Cause like I want to travel, want to end up in the Northeast at some point. So like, again, just kind of a rough map because there's some unknowns and things outside of my control and whatnot. But, and then why was a really good one too. And I also thought about what I want my day-to-day life to look like. A friend of mine pointed out how people can get stuck in the big picture of things and not think about what that actually translates to in your day-to-day life. So I had to think about that. So I used a whole page taking what I know from myself. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It sounds silly to even me because I'm like, how do you not know what you like to do day to day? It still is so silly to me, but I cannot tell you how many times I catch myself in the middle of a day being like, what am I doing right now? What am I supposed to be doing right now? What do I even want to be doing right now? It's insane. So writing this out has helped tremendously. Maybe I'll do another video on the specifics of those sheets, but right now I'm just referencing it to reflect how much more I know myself. And the fact that I was even able to make those lists, as silly as I thought it was that I didn't know these things, it's so cool that I know those things and I was able to make a list about them. Like, I know who, what, when, where, why. I need to make another video on who, what, when, where, why in day-to-day life because I think it's so valuable. I think it's so valuable and I would love to share it. Oh, I'm like all excited about that. But dating yourself and loving yourself and genuinely just being curious about the human that you are is terrifying and beautiful and expansive. Did I say scary? Terrifying? Yeah, it's scary. Like they're like literally about a month or two ago, kind of around holiday season, it was such a vulnerable time for me. I was a wreck and I felt like every ugly part of me, every insecurity, every bad thing I've ever done or thought was just all consuming. It was all surfacing to the top. And I just felt I was a wreck. I was a wreck. I was tired. I was hopeless. I was, oh my God. Oh my God. The clock is 12:22. I need to go to bed. I really need to go. We need to wrap this up. I mentioned that and I referenced that just to point out how dating yourself and genuinely being curious about yourself, the reason it's so terrifying is that when you really open yourself up to knowing the deepest parts of you, you're gonna have skeletons in there and you're gonna have ugly bits to learn and to try and understand and have compassion for and let go of and learn from and move past. Like there's so many shifts that happen inside you when you're just honest and introspective and curious and gentle, just allowing all of you to surface is very daunting because some of it is so hard to look at and some of it is so hard to accept and change, and it doesn't feel good. It's not fun and it's uncomfy and like, ooh, it's like, ooh. Like no one likes feeling insecure or I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's an example I feel comfortable sharing. A lot of like self-worth, like questioning your worth, or just it's like honestly a lot of intrusive thoughts too. Like some of it is not even from you. And that's, I think what's scary is that when you get to like the root of it or the bottom of it, sometimes what you find is that it's just lies and it's literally just like, I don't even want to like say it, but it's literally like demonic shit, like just trying to like latch onto you. Because I personally feel that when you are a light and when you have good intentions for the world and for yourself, darkness comes knocking because they don't want you to win. They don't want you to persevere. They don't want you spreading light. They want to make you think that you are darkness. Through prayer, I realized, holy fucking shit, I can just tell that shit to fuck off. That it has nothing to do with me. Like, fuck you, get out. In the name of Jesus, get the fuck out. This is not me. And just praying, like, one of my favorite prayers is just asking God to help me become who He had in mind when He made me. It literally brings me so much relief because that's all I want. God made me a light. God made me a bubbly, laughing, joyful human being that is just happy to be here. And I feel like I've emerged from such darkness and I'm able to feel such depth because of all of the pain. And like, I don't want to let anything stop me. And I do believe I have the power to persevere and to shine regardless. And yeah, I don't know that I will continue on with the context of dating myself, but this page and my whole point of sharing anything ever is just to see if people relate, if it's helpful to people. I don't know, I tend to encounter a lot of people that appreciate my perspective and my light, and I think if I was able to share my story, maybe people would come home to themselves more often, and I think that would be a beautiful thing. I think curiosity is just one of the best things ever. Also, I'm realizing my passion for accountability. It's so important. It's so important. It's late. I need to go to bed. I don't want to do some OD corny shit, but Emily, I love you and I'm really proud of you. And thank you for being you. And I hope you really give this a shot and that you're here next year making a video more articulately at a more reasonable time of day and maybe with more structure, but do your thing, girl. Get crazy. And don't ever dim your light for anyone. That's so 2021. It's a thing of the past, girl. Just keep shining, keep praying, keep being you. And okay, I think this would be a cool way to close the video. What I want for you this next year is health, strength, wisdom, ambition, openness, self expression. I want you to be overflowing with creativity. And I want the overflow just to fill rivers, and those rivers going down all these channels, and it's all very clear and magical, and it's all reaching exactly who it's meant to reach. I want you to find more of your people and just amplify all of that light inside you. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to see yourself clearly. I want you to be just generous and graceful, elegant, but also sassy. Sassy! Sassy, spicy, expressive, embracing you and your culture and all the cultures that you're passionate about, just embracing and celebrating all of the cultures that just stir up that you know what I mean? Like, mm. Oh my god. I don't know where in the world you'll be next year, but I hope the world sees more of you between now and then. And even if you just embarrass yourself for a year, yapping on the internet, making friends and making enemies, c'est la vie. You know? You just keep following your compass and make sure it's allocated to the right direction. Talking about God. Yeah. Also, like, maybe have a baby. I'm sorry, baby fever is crazy for me right now. I really don't think you're ready for a baby yet. Maybe probably don't do that next year. But you know, leave that up to God. Just trust the process, make good decisions. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for not giving up. And thank you for making this video. Okay. Happy 4-year anniversary. I love you. I will see you next year.